I grabbed a pair of gloves today. They're both lefts, which on the one hand is great, but on the other hand, just ain't right. Our thaw is over and it's back down in the 20s today, sunny and cold. I got a bunch of stuff to do today and I'm starting with the little monsters. Uh-oh. They saw me coming. You guys aren't afraid of me. The jig is up. This is all a game. See how much water they waste? Half of it runs out of their mouth. I moved the tank up another 8 inches, another concrete block, because the pigs are getting taller, the bedding's getting deeper, but pigs still waste water. You really want the water nipple to be just above the pig's head so they have to arch up a little bit to drink it, and they waste a little bit less, but pigs always waste water. I have this cool chart which I wanted to share with y'all about how much a pig eats, drinks, and gains per day at different ages. When we wean our piglets at 6 weeks old, each pig is eating about 1 2/3 pounds of feed a day and drinking about 1/4 gallon of water. At 3 months old, each pig is eating about 3 pounds of feed per day and drinking about 1 gallon of water. And at these pigs' age, these guys are about 5 months old, they're eating 4.5 pounds of feed each per day. They're drinking almost 2 gallons of water a day. But here's the thing that really floors me. Each pig is gaining about 2.5 pounds per day at 5 months of age. These suckers are growing fast. When pigs get this big, they get quite expensive to feed, and I'll do a little simple math for you. Right now we're paying about 16 cents a pound for feed delivered to our farm, and that feed is a mixture of soybeans for protein, corn or oats for carbohydrates, and a mineral pack that's mixed at our local feed mill. It's a balanced feed, and the protein percentage gradually goes down as the pigs get older, just as with all animals. Their feed curve goes like this, you know, they grow fast and they start to level off, and as they start to level off, protein percentage goes down. It's the proper ratio for feeding pigs. Anyway, we're paying 16 cents a pound. Say a pig eats 4.5 pounds a day. In this, it's costing us 75 cents a day per pig to feed these pigs. So times 13 is about $9.50 to feed all these pigs per day. I want to introduce you to my buddies here. These guys are twins, and I've named them both Chris. Crispy Bacon. The trick with keeping profitability on pigs is to know when to bring them to the butcher. At about 6 months, these guys are where you want them to be at about a 200-pound dress weight or hanging weight. And if you run them much past 6 months, the ratio of what they gain changes. They're adding less lean and more fat that the butcher will potentially be trimming off. So the longer you keep the pigs, the less profit you're going to see on them. You're dumping a whole bunch of money into feeding them, and they're just putting on layers of fat. So we try to be timely and get these pigs to the butcher right at 200 pounds, or really 175 to 225. You guys are going to drive me nuts. Speaking of feed, these pigs need more of it, so it's time to fill their feeder. Are you digging to China? Dad and I are working on the 656 loader bucket today, so let me bring you up to speed on that. Here's the issue with the loader on the 656. Originally, this was a forklift, and it had forks coming out, and we cut them off and welded a quick attach on to mount the bucket and other attachments onto. Since it was a forklift, it was built for maximum leverage when you swung the bucket, when you tilted it. So these were spaced further apart than they would be on a bucket attachment, and consequently the bucket won't go all the way vertical to dump, and I actually want it to go a little ways past vertical when it dumps. And in order to fix that, we got to take this top cylinder here and move it down into here someplace so that the bucket will go through its full travel, and Dad and I are going to do that. Here's where we're at now. We messed around with trying to locate the new pin in the loader mount here but realized that the new pin would be outside of the plane of this. So it would have been way up here, and we would have had to fabricate ears to come up here, and it was a lot of screwing around. So as usual, Dad and I went through 4 or 5 different ideas for how to do it, and wound up thinking, well, it's a lot cleaner to just take these off completely. And we cut the quick attach off of the loader frame, so now we have this as sort of a clean slate. And we got some new 3/8 inch plates to weld onto the back of this and cut the holes in and just have a whole new mount for the quick attach. Dad's finishing up turning out the bushings, or the bosses that go in those 3/8 inch plates to provide more meat for the cylinders and the lower arms to work in. My dad got this lathe last fall?
Yeah, a year ago. Yeah. Almost a year ago.
Yeah.
In the summer.
And it's got all the bells and whistles, right? What all will it do?
Oh, it'll make threads, which is what I'm really wanting to do, learn how to do.
Like threads on a, like bolt threads.
Yep, yeah, and interior and exterior both. And then also we can turn blanks and more with it and things. We're kind of limited on the size. It only has like a 13-inch swing, but we don't do anything bigger than that anyway. And it's, you know, so it works good for what I want to do anyway.
And you can feed stock all the way through it. So if you got a real long piece of stock like that steering shaft that I had on the MD, it goes all the way through and can hang out the other side, right? For gun barrels and long pieces. I have to make a plywood template to locate where the holes need to be in those plates to get the travel that we want on the loader. If a short psychic broke out of jail, then you'd have a small medium at large. Well, I gotta make a trip to the Home Depot here and find a piece of plywood. That'll work. Now the quick attach would mount onto here, and I know that the bucket bottom comes off at a right angle from the quick attach, so I know I'll have good travel on the bucket that way. Even when I raise the bucket up, I should be at least vertical with the bottom of the bucket, so it'll dump properly. Now we'll test it with it drawn up and see where it winds up. That seems to be where we want it to be, so I can go ahead and drill the holes in the plates. Now that I know my template is right, I can go ahead and mark out the holes, prick punch them, and drill the holes in the steel. It's amazing what the price of steel's done. Each of these plates were close to, well, actually they were a little bit over 20 bucks each. 6 inches by 21 inches by 3/8 thick. It's at least twice what it was a year ago. The holes all cut and the bosses are all made to go on the outside. We're just going to clamp some spacers in here to hold them straight. Square there.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So this has all been welded on, all the plates on the outside anyway, and then these bosses go on here. And they have these cross pins that go through them to hold the main pins in place. Here's what they look like all welded up. So boss is on the inside and on the outside too. Lots of wearing surface. So that's it on that project for today. Not much left really.
No, got too much. A little bit of welding.
Yeah, weld the insides here.
Knock our braces off.
Yeah. And then the bottom of these arms, for some reason, this has come loose, so weld them in tight on both sides. And then put it all together and it'll be great. All right?
Sounds good to me.
It'll be nice to get that loader done because I got to load manure out pretty soon, both out of the barn and spread on the fields. Got to give the ladies a bale of hay. They're getting kind of grouchy. This is all we got left for hay. There are 11 5x5 bales here, and we'll be feeding hay through mid to late April. So pretty soon, a couple weeks, I guess, we're going to have to start buying in hay. Hey Doc, how you doing, little bud? Oh, you're a tough guy. I forgot my knife in a pinch. A sickle section will do. I got those laying around all over the place. Hey, little bud. I think that's all of it, Doc, isn't it? We can make another mess out of this bale. What are you doing, Hill?
Doing your chores.
Oh, you didn't have to do that.
Can't get me all poopy.
Thank you. There's one less job to do today. Oh, before I sign off, I wanted to give you all an update on the MD and the machine shop. The machine shop got the valves UPS last Thursday, a couple days ago, and hopefully he'll be done next week. I don't know. I'm not planning on it because I got lots of other projects to do, and he'll finish when he finishes. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.